What's up, guys? I know it's been a while. I've had shit to do, but I recently actually got a lot of time, and I'm really excited to start recording again. First video. I normally, it's just a fight night prediction. I'm only gonna go over the fights that I'm actually interested in. Obviously, there's some like Ryan Battle and Matt Frivola who are good fights, but it's like people are here for the interesting fights. People skipping videos anyway. So I'm gonna do you the favor, and I'm just gonna do the fights that I think everybody wants to see, and I'm really happy that this is my first video back. I do plan on actually. I know this is kind of like just waffling on a little bit. Now that I'm back, now that I'm gonna be consistent, I plan on also making football videos in terms of like highlights, predictions. I'm gonna be watching all the highlight compilations of every week. I'm just so happy to be back, and honestly, like, let's just get into it. First is Balaji Oke versus Chris Duncan. I know Oki's a huge favorite here, but I do think people are sleeping on Chris Duncan. Chris Duncan's a pretty good prospect, and Oki didn't come off the greatest performance. He clearly won his last fight. Easy decision, in my opinion. Clearly won it. But people were expecting a knockout. People were expecting a lot more. I chose Oki decision, actually, in his last fight, so I kind of expected him to not get a knockout. I think he's going to play things slow. He's not going to lose his composure. And honestly, man, like, I'm going Oki. I'm going Oki decision. I don't think he'll finish Chris Duncan. Like I said, Chris Duncan is good. And, okay, I actually thought about picking Chris Duncan. The one reason I didn't is because he has a loss to Emmanuel Torres. And we just saw him get embarrassed. We saw Emmanuel Torres get embarrassed completely. I always knew that he wasn't that good of a fighter to begin with. It's kind of, it's not embarrassing to lose. Like, you got in a fight, you lost, it happens. It's just, it's not really a fight that aged completely well. And I just think he's one skill set below Oki. I think Oki's going to comfortably win 29-28 decision. I'm feeling really confident about that. And moving on, man. Roosevelt Roberts versus Ludwig Klein. I know people, it's a huge favorite, Ludwig Klein. People are probably like, oh, well, we already know who you're picking on this. Why even do it? And the reason I'm doing it is because I think Ludwig Klein's, even though he's a huge favorite, people already know he's a prospect. I think people are sleeping on him still. I think he's just a great fighter. If I remember correctly, he dominantly beat Thiago Moses. That's pretty damn impressive. I'm not gonna lie to you. For not being a contender or not fighting a contender, Thiago Moses has fought multiple contenders, really experienced. He's older, I'll give you that. But he's still a tough challenge, and I think Roosevelt Roberts is kind of slept on too. He's 12-5. That's his record. He's one of the guys where I don't think his record really shines and shows who he is. He's a good fighter. He's good technically. He's fought a lot of hard people, and some of his losses were just, I don't want to say fluky, but they were just weird. I do think that Roosevelt Roberts is actually a pretty good test. Maybe not for Ludwig Klein. Ludwig Klein's really good. I honestly want to see him fight someone in the top 15, but I'm pretty sure Roosevelt Roberts was a short notice opponent. I think. I'm very sure he was a short notice opponent. And if he wasn't, UFC, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, bro. Like, honestly, if you chose Roosevelt Roberts versus Klein on purpose, you're retarded. It's short notice. I have no doubt about it. I'm going Klein. Obviously, he's just, how can you not pick him on this fight? Roosevelt Roberts lost his last fight. I'm pretty sure he got knocked out recently. I don't remember that. I had to like double check on that. But Ludwig Klein is one of those people who ride momentum extremely well. He's a good finisher. He's really fucking strong. He hits like a tank, bro. I don't know how he does it. He has different power. That doesn't mean he's just knocking everybody out, but it means that the stuff that he does hit you with, even if it doesn't knock you out, there's just so much force behind it that it hurts. And honestly, that's what I like. I like people in the lower weight classes. I guess lightweight's not really a lower weight class, but like, it kind of is, you know what I'm saying? It kind of is. He is shorter. I will say that. He is shorter. I'm pretty sure his reach is lower. but I'm still taking him. He just has to force that, like, and he's probably going to win this. I'm going KO. I think he's going to knock him out in the third round or second. I don't think first. He's kind of a slow starter, but he builds up. He builds up fast, and like I said, with momentum, he's a good finisher with momentum. He can hit you if he hurts you to the body. He's going to continue. He's not going to rush anything. He has good instincts. I like his instincts. Roosevelt Roberts has been through a lot of fights, a lot of losses, a lot of beatdowns, kind of. He took a lot of force. Ludwig Klein, if he senses one part of weakness, if he hits you hard and he sees you start hurting or anything, he's not going to rush. He's just going to beat the shit out of you, like straight up. He's just going to keep doing it and keep doing it. I like him. I think he's a really good fighter. I think he should have got a ranked opponent. So this is kind of just a layup, I guess. In my opinion, it's a layup. But he is good. He is good. And obviously, I think you'd be a little stupid to not take him unless you're just betting and trying to get some money, like $5 or something, bro. Moving on, William Gomez versus Joe Anderson Brito. This might be a casual pick. I'm going William Gomez. I know Brito's amazing. He's good. I didn't like his last performance against Jack Shore. Obviously, he won the fight. And I might be tweaking. I might actually be stupid, but I thought Jack Shore was kind of coming back in that fight. It was only the second round. Joe Anderson wasn't really keeping the same pace. And then they stopped it because of a leg cut. I've never seen someone getting stopped to a leg cut before, but I was just confused when I saw a stoppage because I'm like, there's no permanent damage. Well, he'll get a scar, obviously. I don't think there's life-altering, oh, his leg will not be the same after this. I think it'll just scar. I don't know why they called that fight. But I thought Joe Anderson was kind of slowing down a little bit, and Jack Shore was coming back. Jack Shore is a really good fighter. Like, I'm not taking that away. Jack Shore is a really good fighter. And for Brito to do what he did to him in the first round and part of the second, it's pretty impressive, man. It really is. And with all that being said, man, I just think I'm going Gomez. I'm sorry I glazed the fuck out of him just to say I'm going Gomez. By the way, this picture's crazy. I don't know who the fuck took it, but pretty good picture. It's just, I think Joe Anderson will slow down the later rounds. I trust Gomez. I think Gomez is an underrated prospect. He can be overrated at times, but I think he's a good enough prospect to bring Brito to a decision. And with a decision and how William Gomez is just good at slowing people down, just slowing the pace and controlling it, I think he's going to do that. He's going to pick his shots. Joe Anderson Brito is extremely good technically. Good boxing. He's fast. I think William Gomez will just have his way. 29-28. And even if he loses 2 rounds, it's France. Like, it's fucking France. They might just give it to William Gomez. I'm going to make a video on the Brendan Allen and, his accusations towards France, saying that they're horrible and that they're shithole. Not my words, even though I kind of agree. From what we've heard, man, France has been up to some scummy shit. They've kind of not really been rigging, but doing what they can to make sure their fighters win. I wouldn't be surprised with a William Gomez robbery. I really wouldn't. And even then, I just think William Gomez is a good prospect. I think he'll have what it takes to win. But what made me even more confident was, hey, bro, they look like they're up to something, bro. I wouldn't be surprised with a robbery. So I'm going 29-28. William Gomez over Joe Anderson. Underdog pick, but I think it's going to pay off. I have a feeling about this one. Moving on to Imaiva versus Brendan Allen. So Brendan Allen came out. I just talked about it. He just came out and said that they took blood from him. They made him piss in a cup. They wanted to take more blood from him after the weight cut, by the way. So he didn't get the huge rehydration boost. This was after the weight cut, not before. I'm sorry, but if UFC didn't know about this, something's up completely. And I honestly don't think UFC knew about it. Because if they knew about it, they probably would have told Brendan Allen, don't talk about this, don't post it. Maybe we'll come out about it, but just don't post it. Brendan Allen did it anyway. I don't think UFC knew about this. That being said, I'm going Imavov. I was gonna go Imavov either way. This is a weird fight. This is kind of like a title eliminator besides Whitaker Chimaev. And the reason I don't really like this fight is because I don't think they're both extremely championship material. I don't think they really do anything to Whitaker or even Chimaev. Imavov beat Cannonier. Brendan Allen beat Chris Curtis. But you could watch both of those performances and you can be like they're not really elite. Like they don't look the best. Obviously they're elite. Obviously they beat 70-80% of middleweight. But they don't look the best is what I'm saying. But Brendan Allen looks more shit and looks more unimpressive than Imavov. So I'm going Imavov. I was already going him. Brendan Allen saying that they locked him in a room, that they literally sat there for 3 hours waiting for him to piss, waiting for him to get bloods. It kind of just tells me, hey, like I said, they're doing some scummy shit. I think Imavov will win. This fight's going to decision unless Imavov finishes him. I don't see Brendan Allen submitting Imavov. And it's a 3-rounder, so Imavov isn't going to gas. So I'm going Imavov. I think he'll do more work in the clinch. Honestly, 30-27. He'll do more work in the clinch. If Brendan Allen's story is true, he's not going to look the same. He's going to be gassing. And honestly, I expect to see Imavov a lot stronger than him in this fight if what he's saying is true. I think he'll have a lot more time to rehydrate. He'll weigh more. Maybe by like 7 pounds, but that's still a lot. That really is a lot. And I also think Brendan Allen's punching power is fucking horrible. Like he's not really that strong to begin with. Imavov is like weirdly strong. He has strong clinch game, even though Cannonier held him against the fence. Brendan Allen's not going to hold him against the fence. That's just not going to happen. And even if he does, Imavov throws elbows, he throws knees. He utilizes the clinch a lot better than a lot of fighters I've seen. And he's going to stay more busy. And even if the fight's close, they're going to rob Brendan Allen. You know, it's like... Honestly, man, it's just Imavov. Like, you just got to go Imavov. Everything seems stacked against Brendan Allen. I hate predicting Brendan Allen fights because sometimes he just wins, and I don't really know how. He just wins. I want to see if he can really just prove me wrong again. He's a good fighter. I just think Imavov's better. If he can prove me wrong, good for him. And I'm rooting for him. I really am. I don't care if I picked Imavov. I'm rooting for Brendan Allen. If all he said was true, that they're trying to rig him, that France is corrupt, that they want Imavov to win, and I can think of a couple reasons they want Imavov and Benoit to win. It's pretty easy. It's just everything looks like it's going towards Imavov's way. You gotta take him in this. Moving on to the main event. Moicano versus Benoit. I've been kind of 50-50 on this fight since it got announced. Obviously, Moicano beat Jalen Turner, but, you know, there's controversy. If Jalen Turner would have got on him instead of being a retard and walking away when he dropped him, he could have finished him. Moicano feels like he's just been getting by, I guess. He feels like he's been getting by. He beat Drew Dober. He took a lot of damage, if I remember correctly. He took a bit of damage in that fight. Jalen Turner dropped him and chose to literally spare him. I don't know why. I chose Moicano for that Jalen Turner fight. My brother chose Jalen Turner. There was a different mood between us after that fight. I'm going to tell you straight up. The vibes were off after that fight. But honestly, man, this is weird. Because I chose Benoit to beat Dustin Poirier before he came out with Staff, and then I switched it to Dustin Poirier, 3rd to 2nd round knockout. Because I knew Benoit would just gas himself out. Because he's smart. He's a smart fighter. Actually, he's not. But he has a good game plan. He just doesn't really stick to it. His game plan, I thought it would be, hey, let's go out here and try beating Dustin Poirier in the first round, which he almost did. And I knew that he was going to get knocked out second round if Dustin Poirier survived. So I chose Poirier knockout. But I'm telling you this because it's basically me saying that I do believe in Benoit. I believe in Benoit, but I also believe in Moicano. And I think experience is really just... Experience is going to give Moicano the edge. I got to go Moicano. I don't think Benoit's grappling is amazing. Like, obviously it's good. But the reason I'm going Moicano is because I think his boxing's good. You got to remember, he was in there with Jose Aldo. I know Jose Aldo beat him, but he was in there with a lot of really good guys. Calvin Kattar. His boxing, he can stand. He can stand with people. I know he got knocked down by Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner's boxing is amazing. Look what he did against Bobby Green. Look what he did against Dan Hooker, which I still think he won, but it's whatever. Jalen Turner's boxing's good. Calvin Kattar's boxing's good. Jose Aldo's boxing is amazing. We saw Renato stay with all those guys for the most part. And Drew Dover's boxing's pretty good. Moicano stayed with all of them. He can take a beating, and just through willpower and experience, he won't lose his composure, and he can fight through a lot. I can't say the same about Benoit. I really can't say the same about Benoit. Even though I like him. I like both of these guys. I'm going Moicano. 4th round knockout, or TKO, not knockout, 4th round TKO. I think Benoit's going to gas. He'll get stupid. He'll get taken down, and he'll get mounted because his grappling's a little overrated. I never thought his grappling was that great. I knew he'd out-grapple Poirier because Poirier gives up his back literally every single time for no reason. And I mean that, for no reason. Like, watch any fight, really. He just gives up his back as soon as he's taken down. I don't know why. I really don't. Maybe I'm stupid, I guess. He's the fighter. I'm not going to question him. But he has a bad habit of that. And that's why Benoit's grappling performance looked a lot more dominant than it really was. It wasn't that dominant. Poirier gave him everything. But I'm trusting experience. I'm trusting experience, and I'm trusting someone I know who's coming off momentum, who has a lot to prove. Even if what Brendan Allen said was true, and it took blood from Moicano, and they made him wait 3 hours, he's still a big guy for the division. I'm going Moicano. That being said, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you all agree with me. If you don't, tell me why. If you guys want to hear my other opinions on the other fights, let me know. I'll respond immediately. I have nothing else to do. Honestly, that's it. I'll make a recap after the fights, talk with you guys. But if you did like the video, just like, subscribe. I want to keep doing this. I want to keep making NFL videos. I want to be consistent. So thank you. I appreciate all the support.